What up, folks? It is week 12. The slate has been flipped on its head, and then flipped on its head again, and then flipped on its head again. Madness is going on. Last minute news. Can't trust Kyle Shanahan. What's new? Well, you know what is new? It's the Fantasy Sanctuary. I'm joined this week by a very special guest from the Deposit Kingdom. Former Predator, producer, editor of Pete Overzet on the Deposit Kingdom in the Ship Chasing Discord, joins us for some Battle Royale, rankings, talk, slate attacks, player takes. This man says he's got Giga Brain, chaos theory type of things, and what better slate and what better contest than the Battle Royale with $40,000 up top to chase. We're here to chase first place. Buck, welcome to the channel. Welcome to the stream. How you doing, bud?
Good, man. Thanks for having me. Happy to be here. It's better talking to you than texting to you.
Yeah, we've been a lot of back and forth in the Discord DMs to set this up for a couple of weeks, but looking forward to it. This is fun. What you're wearing a jersey tonight? What we got?
Oh, this is just one of my probably like 20 vintage sweatshirts from the same company that was bought out by Starter in the 90s, 95, 96. Pretty much defined a whole era. That's a whole other thing. We could do a whole pod on that.
Oh, we could. And you know what? One of these days, I do want to start just ripping up some. Steal from the best. So it's steal Pete's After Dark series just to chop it up with random folks.
Yeah,
and I think the folks are itching for just like just bullshitting whatever is going on between stream chat and guest.
Well, what I've noticed from being in the Discord is that like there's certain commonalities between people that obsess about this stuff, and like I bet there's a lot that people who just watch could relate to, like weird, we all like Futurama, things like that. It's like certain things about
challenge. If you're watching live and you don't like Futurama, out yourself so that
get
we can
out
live.
This isn't the show for you if you don't like Futurama. Let me tell you that much.
So Buck, we were talking a little about pre-show. Curious, so you're producer, editor for Pete. You're obsessed with fantasy football and football in general. So tell us a little bit about yourself and how you play the game and how you attack each week, kind of what you're looking for, and just a little bit about yourself and your process.
Sure. I, like most of you probably have been doing this for nearly 20 years. Late 30s guy, started in high school. One of those things where, another common thing about us is that we all like poker. I was big playing poker, like in the, when Greg Rayner was on TV and all that stuff, cleaning up at home. And then all of a sudden fantasy football came up and replaced that itch that I like to scratch. And, certain things, if you think more about them, you're better than other people at them. And the ADHD in me will not stop thinking about fantasy football, and kind of has never stopped thinking about fantasy football. And when I found out about best ball a couple of years ago, it was game over, A whole part of my brain is gone.
Yeah, that's it. You'll never, your wife, your loved ones will never get that piece of you back, because it will be obsessed thinking about the best plays for the slate this week and how you can all the monies.
Yeah, but it led into, I reached out to Pete last year I reached out to him when I found out he was from my area in New England. And I was like, hey, I don't know if you ever do any live stuff, but I shoot, I edit, I do sound, all that stuff. I produce video. It's my job. I'm a freelancer. And he was like, yeah, whatever. Didn't get back to me. And then a year later, I was like, hey, I got in 5th in the Fast Puppy. Do you want me to edit for you? Basically, and he was,
credentials.
It wasn't the money or the place or anything, but I think I just happened to how busy that dude is. I just happened to catch him at the right time, and we started going back and forth, just spitballing ideas, and we sort of our ideas came together, and that video series happened. So I was able to convince Pete to pay me to max BBM 5.
Oh, we love it when we can get a slice of that delicious influencer money to fuel our own sick addictions. And Tom in the video and producing and editing field and industry himself,
no
famously
doubt.
Reality TV amongst other things.
Oh man, what show?
Oh, God, Tom, what show again? It's some British thing I've never watched before. I don't remember. Sorry, Tom, not to trivialize. We talked about this like 6 months ago. I do not remember, but
I worked on some pretty bad reality shows in my day.
I That sounded worse. Quit it, Tom. It's been a long day. That came out. I'll tell you what I tell my wife every day. That came out worse than I meant it. Really, forgive me. And yeah, Harry alluding to like we shockingly end up kind of having some. It looked disgusting a couple days ago, and all of a sudden, other things look disgusting. So now
I know. Yeah, this is the kind of slate I like. I mean, I'm a contrarian person in general. Sucks for my wife and my friends, but I kind of am. I like to poke the bear a little bit, and that's kind of the approach. That's kind of the approach that I take to like fantasy. Is like you listen to all these more and more people are saying touts. You listen to all these touts touting, and I'm basically just I'm listening to them, seeing how they're contextualizing data and results and trying to use them in predictive ways. If I agree with it, I won't say anything and I'll silently play it. And if I don't agree with it, I'll be very loud to my group of friends about it and do the opposite.
Shots fired. We love to see it. Also, Tom, you have the StreamYard. If you want to come on real quick and lay it all out, because I've butchered it.
Award-winning.
Oh, we're hitting everybody with the quotes. Oh, everybody's catching them.
I'm regional Emmy nominated.
Yeah, and that's a good point. Like fading the field or the market, we see that time and time again. Like bad chalk or late steam and following the crowd. And at the end of the day, if chaos reigns supreme, then one of the easiest things we can do is just go the other way on that particular play or that particular thing. And one of the big ones we kind of alluded to at the beginning of the show, Purdy. And the shocking thing is one of the few things we all agreed on was like, you can't trust Shanahan. And when he said, don't worry about it, not a big deal for the last couple of days. And now Friday, he's not even like taking it all the way to the game. Like he's just saying, no, he's out.
Yeah, well, he learned his lesson. He got burned in week 1 by waiting too long to release the news.
Well, you're into like conspiracy theories. I think he went ahead and covered his ass. He's like, I already told Brandon Allen 2 days ago he's starting. And if I don't shut Purdy down now and Brandon Allen says something Sunday morning, I get fined again or we lose a draft pick. Yeah. So I better just shut him down now because I already decided Thursday he's not playing.
What happens when Brandon Allen is the player of the game and drops in the post-game interview that he knew since Wednesday?
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, if you don't think Shanahan is literally shutting down Purdy today so that they can set up 15 minutes to go, what are you not allowed? You are only going to repeat these sentences. I went out there, I executed the game plan. You're not allowed to talk about anything. And maybe King kind of alluding to it. I don't think so. He goes on IR unless it's like truly bad, right?
Yeah.
Like I understand where they are in the standings. I understand how the conference goes, but like we all know how quickly things change and how wild things can be. And we know how good this team is. And that's going to be the interesting thing to do is like Brandon Allen has been 2 things, incredibly serviceable or dog shit. And which is he going to be this week? Which do you think he's going to be this week?
Most of America has never heard of Brandon Allen. It's just, he's basically an NPC. Like, get this guy in the game. Everybody performs under expectation. The Gigabrain take here is maybe it's a CMC smash. Like it's almost like what's that bell curve meme where it's like
right
CMC smash and then like fade CMC because Brandon Allen's starting, and then it's like, oh, he's a smash again because Brandon Allen's starting.
Dude, someone said I don't think they have Dobbs and Josh Johnson, do they? Like they're like in the waiting wings, but I think they're
it's inconsequential.
No, they do have Dobbs. They have something also called Tanner Mordecai, which that does entice me. That sounds like a philosopher, not a quarterback.
It sounds like the protagonist of like a one of those raunchy novels.
It does. So yeah, that's gonna be an interesting thing.
Oh, Mordecai.
Yeah. But yeah. do they? And that's the other thing. It's like, conspiracy wise.
Okay. Yeah. Let's dig into Dimes here. What's your take on that whole? Where's he going?
Well, I mean, the more I've read about it and thought about it, which admittedly it's been a busy day, a lot of job searching, and job talking, networking, we'll call it. the time I have taken to think about it, Miami could use somebody that's not a fake quarterback behind tiny arm Tua, and
Yeah.
Canales already reclaimed Geno Smith, former failed second round, or no, not first round late draft pick, and then Baker Mayfield. So my money's on like Miami, Canales, or like Tampa, somewhere that he can like
Huh.
go and not be called upon immediately, but also fake his way. And a few of the people have mentioned it, like the Trubisky method of like go join a really good team with a needed backup and rehabilitate your PR.
Dude, I think Miami's a good call, actually. I hadn't considered that because, I mean, I'm on record. I don't know how well you know this, but I freaking think Daniel Jones is so bad, man. But he
He's pretty
could
bad.
he could work in Miami. I think he could work in Miami because I mean, he's got his legs, and
He does have his legs.
even Tim Tebow won a playoff game, but
Yeah. Well, when you think about it, his most successful season and his most successful stretches have been like low A dot, ball control, quick hitting stuff. That's literally what they're doing with Tua to even a worse degree right now, using Achan and Janu as like the yak attack guys.
I think if they use Dimes in a way where he's threatening to run like out of every formation, that would just Achan. I mean, there's the Giga Brain. It's like Dimes unlocks the 40 burgers unlocks like 2023 Achan efficiency.
The Giga Brain sickness is that Dimes is Taysom Hill in Miami. And that,
dude, yeah.
Hey, we don't have a viable running back too. You are running fine, and you are a threat to throw the ball.
Dude, they don't have a running back too. You're totally right. And he can probably catch better than he could throw. That guy fucking sucks.
That's what we do say about my loving husbands. They can catch better than they can throw. All right, let's see. Hold on. We got a little boots on the ground. Tanner Mordecai, backup quarterback for San Francisco 49ers, according to Historical Anomalies, is terrible.
What up, Historical Anomalies?
That's good to know that he's terrible. But because he's in Shanahan's system, he's probably good.
Yeah, his name is Mordecai. So,
amen. Yeah, I'm not exactly shocked. We'll jump into the rankings real quick. I do see Tony Nolosin. Did you have a typo when you typed your name into YouTube? Is it supposed to be Nelson? Saying, I'm looking ahead this week. Week 14, he has Lamar on bye. Best matchup will be Carr versus New Orleans. You've looked ahead, and he's signed elsewhere.
This man is from the future.
The best player is Tua versus Jets. Do I even bother, or do I move? Correct, it's a typo. Oh, that's
okay. So does he make a? Oh, he wants to.
Tillman, Corum.
Okay, I see. So Carr and Tua are on waivers, and he's trying to figure out who we should pick up.
Yeah. So Carr versus and that's kind of like a run funnel thing. So you're saying
looking ahead,
Carr or Tua. So you're saying Carr or Tua is out on the bench, and your droppables are Tillman, Corum, or Laporta. So I'd say it's probably worth getting out ahead. Tua had a pretty good game, and just last week.
That's 2 weeks from now, though.
It's 2 weeks from now, but like I get it. Like, here's the thing: Tillman in concussion protocol, he's going to be a dog to get out there.
True.
With young players with their first-time concussions, we just saw this with Neighbors. Jeff Mueller, shout out, one of the best fantasy doc follows to follow. Young players with their first concussions. I believe this is his first concussion that I know about that he's had reported as a second-year player. Neighbors one's stretched like 2 weeks. So it is like this is the money stretch home season. He has a concussion. He may miss next week. He may miss the week after that. We do not know with young players with first-time concussions.
Right.
And right now, like he's viable, but this pass stretch he's got over like the next 3 to 4 weeks is pretty bad, as we just saw. And there's a lot of mouths to feed. So I don't want to drop Tillman. I think I'd rather drop Laporta right now. He's just like you can't. If it's not tight end premium, I don't see the reason to stash Laporta over a quarterback if like you're on the bubble and you want to make sure you have first dips on a quarterback. I think that's viable. I wouldn't be dropping a guy like Corum who could be an absolute league winner if Kyron goes down.
Well, would you be I think my move probably would be like wait till Tillman gets declared out, put him on IR and pick somebody up.
That's the thing too.
And then see what happens.
Yeah, take it up until as long as you can. But if you're getting antsy, your league better than we do. If you can take him to IR, and that's a good shout from Buck, then do that. And if not, I think Laporte is the most droppable of those guys, very honestly. But if you got to make tough decisions, if like tight end premium or whatever, let's see. Tillman's deep on my bench. I have DK, Puka, CD, McLaurin, and Downs.
There's
yeah,
nothing.
At the same time, you never know. Injuries are a bitch. Like
you need
we've
depth.
seen this. Yeah, depth's not a bad thing. I don't know what your roster construction is, but I'd say Laporte is more viable. The tight end, like he's just as much of a dart throw as like Hunter Henry these days. With just a better offense. Like it's just a better offense, not that much of a different dart throw.
Yeah.
Appreciate
the fantasy concern 2 weeks out though. That's like respect, you know.
Yeah, grinder to grinder. Good looking out, brother.
Yeah.
It wasn't it a concussion? I believe that was reported, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I'm double checking Mueller's notes. Mueller. Yeah, he's in concussion protocol. And it's an 11-day away thing, so it will be a close. Oh, here, Omega King. For anyone watching live, need 2 more for Dog Bowl.
Jump in that Dog Bowl.
Jump in the Dog Bowl. We are in the Battle Royale. Let's see. Artillery Frost, what's up, Bubba? It's Brandon Allen time. Shout out to Artillery Frost, who in the Squirt Squad Discord from the Splash Play. What did you just bank? Was it the Thursday Night Palooza, right? Right? You just banked that?
Damn, brother.
Yes. Yeah. 10K first overall. Bank for the Palooza. So shout out to Artillery. Time to get some Gigabrain stuff. What's the Dog Bowl? So for those of us that are not an Underdog, or for those of us that are not familiar with Underdog, the Dog Bowl is one of their contests. We will be drafting the Battle Royale this week. That is 40K to first, 6-person drafts, best ball. The Dog Bowl is their contest for the top 3 win 10K and a live seat final in Dallas this year to draft for, I think it's 200K up top with 1 million total prizes.
Super cool.
And it was announced in Pete's chat Monday morning by Mathology, but Mathology, one of the Deposit Kingdom members who banked a seat several weeks ago, I am his +1, and I will be attending Dallas in the Dog Bowl with Mathology. The Bont Bros are going to be live doing Dallas.
Oh, congrats, man! You're already there, right? You're already in Dallas? Are you?
I'm in Houston, so it'll just 4 or 5 hours away.
What's that? What's that for a seat at the Dog Bowl?
Exactly. One more for Dog Bowl.
I bet you're gonna get hammered.
Go draft Dog Bowl. It's a 12-person draft, and maybe you'll see me in Dallas. And if that's a turnoff, just know that you may not see me in Dallas because I may disappear. We will see. Tom says it's time to plan for the playoffs. Cough, if only someone put a video out on that. Shout out to Tom and Rich, who just 2 days ago streamed the secrets to planning ahead. QB, running back, wide receiver, tight end, looking all ahead for matchups, players to target, players to look ahead for. And these guys are answering every question you have after the stream in that video. So if you have questions like this, go to that video, check it out. And if they didn't answer your particular situation, drop that situationship you have with your fantasy roster in the home stretch of fantasy football season, and we will hit you with the life-saving advice you need, because that's what we do on the Fantasy Sanctuary, baby. God damn, who promos better than I do?
You got there. That was great.
All right, so yeah, it was the Palooza. Shout out to Artillery Frost.
Attaboy.
Kings all around. Yeah, we just got Artillery Frost becoming a memby. Welcome.
Shit.
Jump in that Discord, dude. As a fellow USer, there is nothing quite like being in the Fantasy Sanctuary Discord where it's a majority UK folks. They talk funny. I'm kidding. With like the jokes, the language, the memes. It's such a good, refreshing change of pace. Such good, funny fucking people. They bust chops like the best of them. My God. Get in there. Get in there, Artillery. It's a fun total turn on now. The Redcoats are rising. Yeah, and you get those fun members only stickers.
Redcoats rising.
Yeah. All right. So, man, it's so much fun to chop it up, and we will keep chopping up. I do want to give Buck a chance to shill. You mentioned at the top of the show, you have a process. So walk us through how you attack and go into every week and how can we apply that today in this battle royale chasing $40,000 up top?
Okay. So basically the process really starts on Tuesday. Like on Monday, I can't even begin to think about it. But Tuesday, I'll start ingesting the content piece by piece, start to get a feel on what the field will do, what people will do, how contrarian people are going to be if I buy the ownership early in the week. And as the week gets on, the content gets a little sharper. People really start to hone in on their picks and not just do broad strokes. So that's when I hear what people really want to do is when I really decide what I want to do, because when I don't believe them, I want to put my money on that.
Okay. And so with that, what are you looking at? What's kind of standing out to you right off the bat, and noting that we've just lost one of the hottest starting quarterbacks that's going to fuel an entire offense where the 101 right now in CMC is going?
Well, I mean, overall, like I did a couple battle royales earlier, and I found myself really drawn to the Cardinals. I don't know how popular that's going to be, but I feel like it's a good spot for them. Their defense has been all right the past 2 weeks. Kyler, he can turn it on when he feels like it. And Marv's due, rookie off the bye or whatever, like coming back. He's ready to get the OC, wants to get him involved. I think I'm kind of hot and heavy for the Cardinals this week. I like that matchup in general.
I mean, it's an offense on the rise. They feel like they're hitting all their cylinders. Kyler seems to have really settled in.
Yes,
I like it.
I mean, I'll do some Kyler skinnies. I'll probably do 3 Kyler lineups this weekend. I'll do probably one with just Marv, maybe a McBride and Marv, and then maybe a naked, and just see how that goes. I'm not afraid to do naked quarterbacks at all, or naked guys in general, just, usually like that. But naked Kyler sounds like a good plan, because you can run it back with DK and JSN. I just have to give a shout out to JSN. I hated on JSN for so long, and I just cannot deny the man anymore. I feel like he might even be a better play than DK this week. So I feel like I'm going to stack that game up. The Seahawks are like, the league is running a lot, and the Seahawks, like, they're live to just abandon the run kind of at any time. And I feel like, this game could get out of hand.
Oh, Chuck Cheese. We love naked guys around here. In fact, the guy on the thumbnail, Backdoor Bo, can't wait to talk about some naked Bo Nix in a little bit. But I like what you said there, because like that's about this time of season, it's really about adjusting. And I was talking to PPR Tyler when we did the First Look BR show earlier this week on his channel, of like, I look at some of these mid-range options at wide receiver, and a lot of this feels like name value over realistic. Like, give me JSN over a lot of these guys. Give me Cortland Sutton over a lot of these guys.
Yeah.
Give me, up until the Purdy injury, Juwan Jennings and Debo Samuel over those guys. Give me
Downs. Yeah.
Like those guys' usage and their profile. You mentioned, like, specifically with JSN and DK Metcalf. JSN for several weeks in a row has not been below like 16 PPR points a game. His usage has been great. And like from a floor ceiling standpoint, the volume's been really heavy and the efficiency's been really good. And the ADOT has been medium to low. So he's just soaking up targets.
Yeah.
As Tyler Lockett's kind of like a nothing in the offense. So this has turned into kind of like low ADOT Tyreek Hill and medium ADOT Jalen Waddle with DK Metcalf and JSN the last few weeks.
Yeah.
With Metcalf in the lineup.
Yeah. And, I'll buy took a half a year with a new OC for him to for them to really unlock the guy. And it's not like, I know he had a big blow up game earlier in the year, and it really felt like extension of the run game stuff. Kenneth Walker was out, and I was like, I'm still not buying it. But the dude is a man, he not just the numbers are there. Like, he looks the part. Dude looks like a pro. He looks like someone who's unfortunately I'm going to have to probably take in like round 4 next year. Or something.
And that's another good shout on Kenneth Walker, is that it looks like from like a timeshare perspective, it's Like, it's definitely not 50-50, but Charbonnet is taking work away from Kenneth Walker. He's not seeing the volume nor the efficiency. Like, the line is becoming an issue. He's not hitting as many home runs, and the receiving work hasn't been as heavy because Charbonnet has been kind of cutting into that, seeing a couple targets a game, and that's just enough to kind of hamper, like, just a handful of attempts, just a handful of receptions, but that's enough to kind of hamper that, like, RB1 overall hype that Kenneth Walker was kind of getting after his first few weeks really booming, potentially against just some weaker competition. So, yeah, this definitely seems like a concentrated offense where if Kenneth Walker's ADP was lower, I'd be a little bit more interested because same thing with the running backs. You know, Connor's been that Kenneth Walker profile, but better volume one way or the other. David Montgomery, the volume plus the team plus the point totals much stronger. Brian Robinson, heavy volume, like similar type of play of Walker, but Arizona's defense has been on the mend from a efficiency standpoint, from a scheme standpoint. And if I'm gonna make a stand, blowing out a soft ass rush defense like Dallas, what Kingsbury showed us, he'll just run the shit out of the ball. And then another late breaking thing, Pacheco out this week. I shouted out Kareem Hunt as a guy going undrafted that was a great value at running back because following Jeff Mueller's work, Pacheco was not likely to see the full workload nor see efficiency in that workload. And the Chiefs would likely know that, having him on a pitch count. And so Kareem Hunt going 35.5 ADP Monday and Tuesday was a place to hammer it. And even now, only at 29.4 ADP against one of the best premier rushing matchups as historical. Give me all of the Cream My Shorts Hunt.
Dude, yeah.
This week.
I'm hunting for cream this week.
Yummy, yummy in my cummy tummy.
I mean, like,
just say that on live television.
How mega popular does Kareem Hunt get on Sunday at 1 p.m. Eastern?
I mean, I don't think it's going to be enough because, look at the ADP. With this news, he's only moved up.
It makes you want to play 100% Kareem Hunt. It just makes you want to lock the dude.
I'm glad you mentioned 100% Kareem Hunt because I was laughed at in the offseason. I was laughed at for this exposure. I was laughed at. They laughed at me.
I wouldn't have laughed at you. I wasn't there.
Who's fucking laughing now?
Oh, man.
Pre-draft is not that good after Mike Evans and Nico Collins have missed a shit ton of weeks. But Stefanski bucks.
42? That might turn into real bucks.
Brother.
Corner Hubbard?
From your mouth to God's ears, please.
25% Chuba, too? I dig that.
Yeah.
Monty's great call, too.
If the championship was in week 12 or week 13, we'd be looking pretty hot. But I just need Mike Evans and Nico Collins to come back to life this week. That would really help out the old advance rates.
That segues into Tampa. I love Tampa this week. I love thinking about what everybody's going to do with Cutlets in that game too. Like, what do you think the sharpest way to play Cutlets is if you're going to play Cutlets?
We know he's got more rushing than not. We know he's going to take a lot of sacks. And if they're benching dimes immediately, you got to think it's got to be low ADOT stuff. Neighbors, here's the thing that Cutlets was interesting until Neighbors popped up on the injury report with this groin that he's been nursing. So like and I like that you're talking about that because the Tampa Bay, Atlanta, these have been kingmaker defensive secondaries that funnel for two reasons. The pass defense is not that good, and the Bucs offense, pound for pound, has been good enough, both rushing and passing, to push their offenses with Baker cooking. So I love a lot of Bucs stuff this week. If Mike Evans is playing, and it sure sounds like he's going to be on a pitch count, but they said critical downs, so I think third downs, red zone is likely. McMillan may move into the slot, and he was dealing with ankle and hammy stuff, so if he's healthy this week, may not be the worst thing in the world. I do expect a lot of Bucky and Rashad rushing, receiving. Bucky's got some strong coach pick index about usage. Hayden likely setting up for another smash week. Operating as the lone guy when Evans is off the field, and when he's on the field, some coverage away. But from the Cutlet side of things, Neighbors potentially being limited kind of hurts if you thought the ceiling outcome, but if he's playing, it's more of a decoy thing. I think Tracy sets up as a super strong play just because he's been so efficient. And this may be a game where if it's going to be low ADOT, it's going to be you got to be feeding Wandale and Tyrone Tracy the ball through the pass game, and then he just gets a PPR scam his way to like viability. He's been bad, but he's had a couple of fantasy viable games. I think his best game last year was 26 points. So if you're doing that, you got to think he shows off more rushing than we think, and he gets one of the softest secondary matchups to take advantage of. Wandale's fine, good enough. Neighbors isn't super banged up. And as a gross stack, you could do worse now that Purdy's out. And, Jaden Daniels isn't a favorite play of mine because, again, they're kind of nursing him conservatively with the rib thing. They don't need him to go Super Saiyan to, like, do things like that. A guy like Tommy DeVito going undrafted, and Theo's been serviceable as a yak guy. So, like, it's interesting.
It's definitely interesting. And here's the gigabrain is that DeVito is more interesting to me with Neighbors out if he doesn't play because he didn't practice today, right? Did he practice today?
Let me pull it up. I can't remember if he was limited or DNP. Let's see. Yeah, it was DNP today.
That's not good.
Nope. Late downgrades are always bad, ominous arbiters for either missing the game or being extremely limited and unproductive.
So if Neighbors is in, it makes it easy to the point where I don't know that even if I get that right, I will have the right pieces around it with the limited volume that I play on DFS. But if Neighbors is out, my mind immediately thinks, okay, everyone's going to like maybe do Cutlets like Tracy and try and be a little different that way, or Cutlets Wandale, but I want Slayton. I want Slayton there. I think Slayton, he's kind of just a guy, but he is a very opportunistic guy. And
Agreed.
And Tommy
Cutlets, underrated. This generation's Tyler Lockett. Many are saying.
We watched we watched Tommy Cutlets scramble around and toss some balls deep last year. And what's Slayton?
He tossed some balls around, baby.
deep down the canal. He but Slayton's like 4,600 or something like that, isn't he? He's like really cheap. So if you get a Cutlet at 4,000 and a Slayton at 46 and go to the Bucks side after that, or maybe you only play Rashad White or something like that, but just like try and say, okay, DeVito gets 20. He's got 50 on the ground. He's got like a touchdown and, a bunch of yards. And then you say the touchdown goes to Slayton, Rashad White, dump offs, or assaulting the game away. I don't know. Maybe you play Bucky instead, but that's one way I would do it. I would also do it naked because I don't force stacks if I think that, it's basically like value-based drafting. Like if I think that DeVito is just a straight up good play and I don't know who it's going to, then I'll play DeVito at 4,000. It's the same reason I took Justin Herbert 1/5 of the time in best ball, even sometimes on stacked, because sometimes it just makes sense. You're just going to get the points.
Also, going backwards a little bit, I love what you're saying. We'll come right back to it, but I do like Mark Wise commenting that Dimes would be good insurance for Herbert. Yeah, and this is another thing. Like Dimes signing with a contender. I like the Chargers shout out too, because Greg Roman's offense under Lamar and the current Herbert with like the run plays, the players involved, the run game focus, and guys like Ladd, who was limited today with a shoulder, but I'm not as concerned as that. Potentially makes QJ a more interesting play on the other slates.
Be still my heart, QJ. So 22% QJ. Oh
wow. Oh, Tom would know. Danny Dimes, famously the only NFC QB to beat Lamar. So like, yeah, I think he'd be, he'd be pretty good Lamar insurance, Justin Herbert insurance. Yes. So I expect the contenders with really shit backup quarterbacks to be interested, because as far as late season and playoffs are concerned, you don't want to be in a situation like San Francisco was when their quarterback went down and you don't have anything late in the game to get you there.
Dude, yeah.
So good shout from Mark Wise. I hadn't thought about the Chargers, but that's a good shout. And then last to go backwards before we go forwards. Yes, Mathology famously is also first place overall in Best Ball Mania.
It's Brutal.
So if there were prizes, he and I would be sweating his top spot finish regular season. And we'll still be sweating that because, them's bragging rights saying he finished first overall regular season in the first round of Best Ball Mania. No small feat. And that team is classic mathology. Just stack the best teams and best players, grab the ADP value, and
play the
go
best
with
plays.
God.
Yeah.
Play the best plays, baby. But I got to say, Darius Slayton going completely undrafted. No one has drafted him per his ADP on Underdog and Battle Royale right now. You mentioned it. I love that shout.
No doubt.
Battle Royale, you need some chaos, weird scrolls to happen. If Neighbors isn't going, he's going undrafted now, but I don't expect Darius Slayton to gain enough steam with Tommy Cutler playing. No one's going to want him. They're barely interested in Neighbors with the injury being 18.8 ADP right now. So I like the Slayton because he's good, he's efficient, he's underrated, and he can hit in just a few big plays. And will that carry Tommy Cutlets along in a contest like this? 6-man, I don't think it's as viable. In 12-mans, like the Dog Bowl, like some of the others, multi-entry, I don't mind it. I just think there are better plays.
Yeah, this is a Dog Bowl ass play.
Yeah, that's a Dog Bowl ass play. But like my boy Bo Nix is just set up for another smash week. From a clean pocket, he's been absolutely feasting. Las Vegas is doing really, really poor with pressures. He's got mobility. He's been super comfortable. He can hit in the pass game. He can hit in the run game. They're just set up and cooking. So Bo Nix naked and Bo Nix with Cortland Sutton, Bo Nix with your famous random. There's too many cooks in the kitchen. I like Bo to Sutton. I expect Bo to Sutton to be a more popular way to stack Sutton. So I'll probably end up with plenty of naked Sutton.
I think you could do naked Nix and Sutton.
And maybe you go with God and you say, is this the week that Javonte scores 2 touchdowns again? And does he do it through the air? If you want to get disgusting.
I mean, maybe, dude. I don't know, man. The NFL is chaos. It's 22 people smashing together on the field.
Let's see. Yeah, that mathology team does have a bit. Well, the bit of gritty is that it's Hurts, Daniels, Burrow. The not gritty part is that it was Hurts at ADP, Burrow a round or two after ADP, and Jaden Daniels a round or two after ADP. So he got the 3 elite quarterbacks.
I never ever considered doing
all at ADP and all stacked last time I checked.
That's insane. I was a little bit off the board, not to take a huge detour, but there might be like 2 or 3 of my BBM teams that are not a 3-5-7-3 build. That was like a limitation that I put on myself to try and get players from all parts of the board. So I have a lot of 3 QB teams, probably more than most, but not a triple elite. That's wild.
Gritty likes to follow me on Twitter and pop in my chats every once in a while. You're saying it, not me.
I mean, crazy people have won things.
I would love to be the next crazy person that wins things. Let me retire early. Let me give the people what they want. 24/7 unfettered access to my OnlyFans nonstop. Speaking of, and that was a joke I wanted to come back to, Mr. Production Extraordinaire.
Yep.
How much to get you to come produce my OnlyFans at Emo Reverse Cowboy? Not a bit, famously, not a bit.
Pay me in feet pics.
Oh, baby. Dude, I have Grinch fucking feet, dude. I have double bunions. They are basically they are legally flippers. And the hair on my toes, the calluses on my knuckles. Someone out there is like, I am so rock hard right now with those disgusting feet. And every other normal person, not to kink shame, but you feet people, pretty bad.
Yeah.
Oh, Tom.
Say more.
Tomothy. That's true. I did ambush Tom in our live stream. I got somebody to pony up.
Oh, brother. We had a draft right now?
We are in a BR draft, kicking off with the 4th pick. All right, Buck, what are we doing here?
Woo. I mean, first pick. I mean, I think it's 2024, brother. You need to take a running back if you're if something good is showing up. But I guess we can play ADP. I like to be a little bit weird about this stuff. Like ADP in general is just the field telling you what they're going to do, and like you don't, you can decide to try and play that. Like best ball is the way to play that. I think BR is like kind of get your guy season.
So you said we're going running back, so we're taking the slight value on Achan, huh?
I would take Achan there. Yeah, for sure.
Smashing Achan versus New England.
That's kind of an easy pick to me. I'm also interested in Gibbs because I don't think he's going to be super popular, but in BR, maybe it's not the place to take him.
You don't know. And famously, we're having to play against this sharp guy that just won 10K in the Palooza.
Son of a bitch.
And
he's in here? Oh,
I'm pretty sure Avery Mountain Man's in here too, if I had to guess.
Who did he take?
Mountain Man took Hill and Kelsey, and Artillery Frost took CMC, who fell. CMC going 3 because Nico went 2. Interesting.
CMC, famously good.
Everyone's bad at it, given the field size. All right. So you mentioned you like Jameer, and we get a little bit of an ADP dip. Is that correct? You think he's going to be underrated this week?
Smash
and grab, baby. We are done with running back. Now it's time to set up.
You got the 2 most explosive running backs on the slate.
I love to explode. All right. So how are you playing tight end this week?
Oh, let's look at my handy dandy notes app.
We are looking at the handy chart.
So
Buck has given out.
This is a great conversation because Schoon Man, the Schoon Man is I'm assuming he's going to be fucking Giga Chalk, right? He's got to be.
I think in DFS is cheap. He probably will be. BR, I don't know as much.
That's what I was going to say. I actually think he's a better pick here than he may be on DraftKings. That said,
I see
that because no one's going to pick him here, and he is live to get you enough. But on DK, I'd rather bet against that if he was going to be chalk.
You said you're a JSN bro. Do you want to take JSN over tight end here and figure it out?
Yeah.
All right. Smash and grab.
Yeah.
So what do we want to do here?
My God, I can't believe we just took JSN over CeeDee Lamb. What has the world come to?
It's week 12 and it's Cooper Rush's world, and we're wanting to live in it.
I do like Kittle a lot this week, even with a backup. But I don't think with a backup I would take him over Cade Otton this week.
I tend to agree with that. And then Johnny's usage and his ADP does not match up.
He's another be still my heart. I fucking love that guy right now.
I have a shit ton of him and everything else.
Yeah. So we're up next, right?
We are up next. Nice guys took 3 receivers off the board.
So what do you think about taking Kyler Murray?
And then
what do you think about that? What do you think about going quarterback instead of tight end right here? And
I don't mind it.
Let the room tell us what to do.
Is that you? So do you prefer? So my question to you is: do you prefer Kyler much more than Baker, AR, or Bo?
Not much more, but I think there's a chance he gives you, a tournament winning score.
I like it.
I think
you got a little mini correlation.
I think the combination of people we have going on right now is going to be pretty unique.
Omega King with the GM, and then Artillery Frost saying, does anyone else like to say Schoonmaker like the Led Zeppelin album Dire Maker?
Jermaker.
Yeah, I'm obviously not a Zeppelin head. Every time someone says Schoonmaker, I think of Spoon Man.
Me too. Yeah. Spoon Man. All right.
DFS tight end to take. So to circle back on the Kyler thing, are we back stacking Kyler or are we doing naked Kyler? You just want to do naked Kyler with JSN?
Well, we have Marv. Is Marv going to fall?
I like Marv. Famously, I think Jacob Gibbs, awesome shout on Invaded Dude on Twitter. Laporta going over Kittle is a choice. Well, if we get Kittle back around to us, Kittle rotten this week.
Do you think? Well, so Kittle with the backup, I would actually knock down a little bit. Otton's okay. I would leave it up to you, Otton or Marv, with this pick.
We probably take Marv and then figure it out.
Perfect. That's
because to close the loop on the Jacob Gibbs shout out with the data. They've been getting him more involved in the horizontal and crossing routes,
Yes.
horizontally breaking, crossing route stuff. Saw a lot of targets in his last game on those coming out of the bye week. So we got the rookie bye week bump. We've got the week to game plan, week to figure it out. And it seems like they're starting to really lean into what Marv's doing well, which is more in-breaking stuff than vertically breaking stuff.
Right.
And all of a sudden, if he can start consolidating targets with his athletic profile,
Yeah.
boom profile. We took Kyler, so love the stack with the JSN bring back.
Yeah, we got
and
a nice
we've
little
got plenty of options.
got a nice little game stack going on here with some pretty damn good running backs at slight ADP dips. I dig it. Oh man, we got to take Kittle.
Oh, Kittle all the way back around, giving us our elite tight end.
Even with Brandon Allen, I mean,
Boom.
with our last pick, come on,
feels unique.
it feels good. I like it.
Ring Cowboy concert, brother. I am a shit vocalist. You do not want to hear me sing unless it's a karaoke, and then you are mesmerized by my gyrating hips and my table dancing to notice how shite I am singing.
That's a good one. You know what I always sing in my head?
What do you always sing in your head?
Naked Love. When I'm thinking about playing him by himself.
I like it. All right, let's get another one going. What say you?
Yeah, let's jump in. You lead the way this time with the quarterback selection. We've done my my favorite stack. You know, we made it happen. We executed.
We executed to perfection.
We really did, actually. It's a shame. Thank you for to Artillery Frost for allowing us to take Marv. Appreciate you. You heard us. I know you did.
Fuck you. I don't say thank you on stream.
Dude, this is my first stream ever.
Ooh, I'm popping Bucks cherry, baby. And of course, this next BR we're in with Crash Rich, famous Grindor, and then Artillery Frost in the 2-hole once again.
Okay. What do you think here? Are you on board like with, you know, the way that I would approach this with starting running back, or are you more of a let's stay water, see what the board gives us kind of thing?
I do not mind running back or board. I'm kind of the mind that I want all types of Lions players, regardless, just because they will beat the ever-living shit out of the Colts, but the Colts could potentially put up more points against the Lions than we think, which I like.
They could. I like Amon-Ra, though. I'm not
and only because I can get Monty regularly, I think, who has just as high of a ceiling as Jahmyr Gibbs.
Agree.
So here we get. Let's get a little Amon-Ra and see what we can't get, because tonight we're getting a little bit of value coming to us, and then we can play it late because I like plenty of late stuff.
You thinking Goff later?
Thinking Goff's totally viable. Thinking A-Rich is totally viable, because we talked about Downs being someone I am more than happy to add to the squad. Let's see. Artillery Frost saying Maddox brought up apparently Kyler had to sit down with him and talk about how they should use him, and then change his usage instantly. We're giving it to Kyler and not Drew Petzig. I'm okay with that, but like
Davis Maddox, famously reliable source.
He's never been wrong with a source or a narrative ever. Famously,
I do love that. I do love listening to that guy, though. I gotta say.
Yeah, that's the thing. If we've learned nothing over the last 5 weeks, last 12 weeks, it's that go after the top 5 offenses and get as many players as you can, and that's a better winning strategy than most other people.
Well, this reminds me of what fantasy used to be. You had to get the running backs right every week, and you just have to have the right running backs, or else you're not going to win money this year.
Preaching it. Oh my God. Okay.
Oh,
we said that, but we're getting 2 grown ass men.
Take them
fully back.
Oh,
I'm fully hard.
Oh my God. Nico is hot.
Ooh.
Nico was a famous among my Dynasty League, a waiver wire ad for me.
Oh,
did not go in the rookie draft.
Good to see you, brother. Yeah, A-Rich Downs bring back. Very nice. Well, Amon-Ra's the bring back, brother.
I love it, but it scares me. But I love it.
Well, in BR, if it's not scaring you, it's probably not winning.
You're doing it wrong. Yeah, if you're not scared, you're doing it wrong. You're right.
It's like dating in your 20s.
You're not scared. You're doing it
Best
wrong.
ball on call, shouting out the Notre Dame sweater. You love to see it. I'm just kidding.
Oh,
He
you
does
know,
sound convincing until he ends his sentence with a question mark, and then it becomes less convincing.
no, Davis has good takes. He's more of a football guy than he lets on. For
I think
sure.
he's such a football guy, but he flip flops so quickly that he ends up just confusing himself.
Yes. Another.
He's probably curious when it comes to the football knowledge.
Yeah. Where are we going here?
Great question. So we've got McBride available to us, but we know that Kittle's going in the last round.
Ooh,
So
there's your boy Brian Robinson sitting right there. I do love Jimmy Connor.
we'll shout it out. We started robust. Give me the running back you need to have.
Connor.
Also, for anyone new to my Magic Fingers on stream, I have been known to freeze time for 2 to 4 seconds in order to get the picks that my guests want.
How did he do it? How did he do that?
This is the take. Davis has good takes, but his bad takes are so insanely wild. Says Tom Strachan.
Yeah, so I think that's what I was going to say is that I think Davis is actually really sharp, but he refuses to be open to certain things, and that's a problem.
We get a little Trey McBride fall.
That's very interesting because it's the opposite. Let's take him. It's the opposite of our other team where we had Kyler and Marv.
Take the two opposite players on a good team we want. I like it.
Yeah, we don't need to bring back,
We do not.
We don't need to take Charbonnet Ramsey. But if Josh Jacobs falls, that's another guy I wanted to mention this week with the Brandon Allen news. With the Brandon Allen news, Jacobs might eat. He's been getting thrown to. All the things we said he couldn't do, he's doing.
Boom.
He's getting in the box. He's catching passes. He's catching touchdown pass. Singular, I think.
Singular.
He's catching touchdown pass.
He caught the touchdown pass. That got dangerously close to cancelable. Let's see.
So he's gone.
He's gone. We have a QB stack. We have a naked Bo Nix, a naked AR, and then we have the running backs. What say you?
If my feet are to the fire, I'm taking Bo Nix here.
I'm putting your feet to the fire, brother, because we're taking naked Bo Nix.
That's the way, man. That's the way.
It is the way. These are all guys I'm super into. Talk to me about who you would prefer as your running back of choice for our last pick for this Battle Royale draft.
Get me all the way back up there. Scroll me all the way back up. So you have Johnny Taylor sitting there, with a possible 2 PIs in the end zone, falls into the box twice, bring back for Amon-Ra. You also have Tyrone Tracy, who may just straight up smash. Those would be my 2 I'm considering.
Let's chase the consolidator explosive rookie who may be peppered. And the other thing, too, is Jonathan Taylor is dealing with lower leg injuries. The Detroit strength is running the ball. And I do believe if they're going to keep up with an offense that is likely to light it up early and often, they're going to have to abandon the run. AR saw 11 designed quarterback rushes last week. Jonathan Taylor's not seeing a whole lot of pass work. It is a high-scoring affair where he could just break some long ones, but the New York Jets are a good matchup for running backs and for wide receivers. They've just not been a good defense, and you saw that despite 24 carries, he does not get there from like an efficiency standpoint. So that does concern me. If you're at 24 attempts, that's good, but the Jets offense was shit. I don't expect the Lions offense to be shit, at least not all game. I did see them live Sunday Night Football in Houston, but it's like I get it in a vacuum, especially when it correlates. But like I really do think that Bucky Irving, Chuba Hubbard, Tyrone Tracy are better plays for explosiveness, for game environment. and like receiving usage. Like we've yet to see Tyrone Tracy unlocked as a receiving running back. DeVito being in, I think it's the perfect time to see that potentially happen just with like low A stuff, especially if Neighbors is going to be out. But like Bucky Irving probably being underdrafted again. He's a guy that's seeing 3, 4, 5, 7 targets a game. If Evan's going to miss
crazy.
time, yeah. Like we're not talking about how Bucky's kind of doing the rookie year Kenneth Walker thing, like seeing a game with like wildly high targets, really good efficiency. He's like Kyron-esque on the ground, but he's seen way more targets than Kyron's ever seen in a game, if I'm not mistaken. And he's been really, really good. And the Jets are a run funnel. So like he's another guy I'm really interested. We're gonna rip one more here before we power this thing down.
Let's do it. What do you think about the Sean Tucker noise? Do you hear any of that?
Yeah, I follow. So I subscribe and I follow Coach Speak Index on Twitter and in Discord. And it sure, though, if I'm recalling the quote correctly from Cohen, it was, we look at the guys and it's hard to get everybody the ball. We'd like to, it just seemed like we said we like Tucker and we want to get Tucker more involved, but it's hard to get everybody involved. And when everybody's healthy, it just feels like that thing where Tucker gets something if they're blowing guys out is the way.
It
doesn't
which
seem like
may happen. Not a BR pick, I don't think, but like maybe super large field, larger than the fields that I play. Maybe Tucker is viable.
I'd say Tucker's interesting from the standpoint of it seems like he's still involved on special teams. So if they're blowing out the Giants and the Giants just start giving up LA Charger style, maybe he's someone that gives you special teams touchdown plus some garbage time stuff. It's a thin thing, but
he's good. He's just good too. That's the other thing. It's like he's not just like he's not your average third string running back. Like Sean Tucker is really good at football.
What are we doing 101? Shout out the running. You're a running back, bro. So give me the running back you want. 101.
Oh man, we got to go Mixon. We got to go the RB1 PPG overall.
He said, "Give me that Tennessee matchup."
Give me fucking Joe Mixon, baby. I don't care. Give him to me.
Oh, come on.
Dude eats.
Here we go.
I just don't want to take McCaffrey right now. I haven't worked myself to that take yet of like the other end of that bell curve where he's smart. I haven't worked myself because he's got he's got tiny men working his Achilles while he's running around. Like
tiny men.
In he's got tiny men in his socks, like making sure he doesn't they're holding him together.
That's fucking hilarious. I mean, we just saw fucking Nick Chubb, who's got tiny men holding his ACL together, get there with 2 stupid fucking touchdowns.
Oh, Nick Chubb, man. I was just waiting for Nick Chubb to be a better pick than Kamani Vidal. I was just waiting for it.
I love this from Chuck Cheese to close the loop on the Davis slander and Flowers. Not sure he's sharp, but he sure as shit ain't dull.
It's true.
That's how I read that in my head, by the way.
I like Davis a lot. I helped him buy a new computer.
Davis, I saw that in the Discord. Davis is a homie. I would love to hang out with him in real life as like a fellow hater of the boards, but he's such a fucking homebody that doesn't want to hang out.
That's what I was just going to say. He does not seem like he wants to hang out with anybody.
Rich boy.
Like he's watch football alone, like order Chipotle, you shit my brains out while I'm scrolling Twitter. Repeat, rinse, repeat. Literally rinse, repeat.
Yeah, it would be fun. He just won't do it.
It's okay.
Lame.
Let's see. So we are up in 2 here?
Up in 1.
Up in 1. Oh, man. How do you feel about Reek?
I don't mind it. I mean, we just saw Cooper Kupp, and I'm a simple man. We just saw Puka and Kupp crush. Moss crushes our hearts. But we have Monty available to us right at ADP. We also have Bowers. What do you want to do? You want to do Monty Bowers, or you want to do something else?
I like.
These are the most probably often paired with CMC or HN. Go ahead.
I like Monty.
Okay, what else do you want to do with the other pick?
The other pick, man, this is tough. Maybe we should go McBride here.
You want to go McBride over Bowers?
I'm actually McBride over Bowers this week against Denver, I think.
Spicy. He's McBride over Bowers.
McBride's fucking due, man. There's something about being due.
But so I like this from the standpoint of good player. He's not seeing as much good usage, but from a pairing standpoint, and Pete, I'm sure we talk about this. Given the ADPs, you're likely seeing a lot of Demont and Trey McBride. That said, we took Mixon. I'm sure we're not the only people to take Mixon in the top 3. So from a pairing standpoint, McBride is probably good leverage for us where we don't necessarily have to go off the board scrolling wise because we've probably got a unique pairing, McBride with Montgomery and Mixon with these 3 combos. So we don't have to go off the board as much as we don't want to. But that said, I'm very comfortable doing that because I think it's a lot of flat tier guys. And like we talked about, the running backs, wide receivers late, not too different from the guys going. And Omega King saying McBride over Bowers always.
Always. I'm not going that far, buddy.
Yeah, red zone usage. I don't know about that. I would love it. If McBride got that red zone usage, I would agree with you.
Yeah, I'm on record as saying I like the Cardinals this week.
Same.
Sticking to it. Bowers is probably better though.
I mean,
like almost.
Yeah, I don't know.
Almost
well,
definitely.
I mean, Draft Capital says he is.
Fucking Bowers is like, oh my god, this guy's so good. Round 10, can you believe it?
Well, I mean, he started in round 8, and then round 10, 11. That's when I wasn't. I'll admit, I was a little spooked.
I took a lot of Bowers.
Like he was like round 9 and 10.
I took a lot of Bowers, and I gotta say that's something that the touts put me onto. I wasn't gonna do it, but the touts put me onto it. I succumbed. I gave into peer pressure. I was taking Daniels every time there.
I hope so. I hope variance hits hard. I'll explode. All right, what are we doing here? Back on the turn.
Oh, did we take B-Rob in the last one? Because if we didn't, then we should get him.
We should get him. We did not take him in the last one because we went. And then also like we get a little ADP.
Oh wait! Too many running backs. Otten looks like we're going Kate Otten, double tight end. Cortland Sutton.
No, we're gonna do a little tricky. We're gonna set up a bow thing.
How did he do this? Okay.
You like that? You like me just freezing time to do what I want?
What the fuck?
We're not even paying attention. I'm over here placing an order, pick up for food, just freezing time real quick. All right, what do we want to do with this? Do we want to take Bo and figure it out, or do we want our wide receiver and then pump the quarterback?
Oh, dude, take Kareem. Oh, we can't take Kareem Hunt. We fucked up. Let's take Bo Nix.
Okay.
2 different builds with Bo Nix. I like that.
Well, see, that's the thing. I think even with Evans back, if he's full time, which he's going to be on a pitch count, so Otten will still have plays on the field. I know that's what happens when you're paying real close attention. I think Evans being on the field is fine because, like, from a coverage standpoint, Otten's being used in like lower A-dot. He's kind of being used a little bit like the low A-dot Godwin stuff because like Cohen's called out the wide receivers for not separating enough. So I think with Evans back, like the red zone usage sure goes a little bit away from Otten, but Otten was eating on like the Bowers level, like quick hitting stuff, low A-dot stuff. And that's not going to be as effective with Evans, especially until he's like full health. And even then, we saw Evans and Godwin doing just fine. And what Evans does really well is not necessarily what Otten does well. So I don't know about down to earth. I think like nuke ceiling game outcomes probably less likely. But as far as tight end's concerned, he's still going to be like really solid week in and week out as long as it's just Evans out there that's like, viable receiver.
Well, I'll tell you what. I'll let you in on a little secret. I'm definitely playing Mike Evans in DFS this week.
I mean, having a hard time not. And yeah, we could have done
even on a pitch count. Even on a pitch count.
I don't mind double tight end in some of these places. We just talked about like Marv and the usage, not too different from what we just talked about what Otten's doing.
Agree.
Look at that. Look at all of us agreeing means only one thing.
Well, I mean,
we're so wrong, and it's gonna blow up in our face.
Yeah, I mean, or I could just hit the jackpot on my first stream, and you can win all the money.
I'm gonna jack it on my stream and hit all the money. Boom! I made it weird. That's what I did.
So Kate Otten, though, I feel like he has proven himself to that team in a way that I did not think was possible, and I think that Evans coming back. I mean, I think like Otten might just be Godwin now. Like in a way, I think he might. I don't think Evans coming back is bad for Otten to answer that comment.
I think you're right. Okay, so here we go. What are we doing at wide receiver? Call your shot.
Shit, man.
I think all these guys are super live, given Keenan late addition. Call your shot.
Let's fucking go crazy and go JMO.
JMO it is. The man calls it. I'm freezing time.
Well, if I recall, he's got a good matchup on the outside this week. You can fact check me on that, or don't.
We don't fact check shit on this.
But JMO is, I mean, JMO is, God, he's good. He's really good.
All right, so to recap, the last one we did Bo Nix to Cortland Sutton. We went Joe Mixon over CMC at the 1 spot. Took Monty, but then pivoted from the chalk pairing Bowers to McBride.
Yeah.
We don't take Marv then, and we instead we're doing Lions doubles with JMO instead of Laporta. That's fun, especially
Worked
with
out last week.
Worked out last week. And if we're talking about leverage, if Monty hits and JMO hits, likely that means Amon-Ra did not hit. Or they just scored 60 fucking points.
Or Gibbs too. And also it's like, you know, Amon-Ra and Gibbs, they're all like fighting for similar pieces of the pie.
PMS, if you're drafting Lockett and BR, go Godspeed, brother.
I say you should lock it into all your lineups, brother.
Yeah, that's chaos theory and BR, sure, but as far as like guys with similar prices, but much higher floor and ceilings, because that's the thing is like I'd like to be not perfect and win, and if we're gonna have like one of these low scoring slates or like good enough gets it done from like your second receiver, your second running back. Lockett's floor is like 0 points, whereas JMO, Downs, those guys have floors of 5 to 12, right? Like those are reasonable floors given their usage, given their explosiveness.
All you need to know about Lockett is that he's currently also a realtor.
And that is on lock. That house is on lock.
Yo, I like our first team a lot. I like all the teams because they're funky and different, but I think that first team is probably going to take it down.
I like that. I like that one made you do the Riz. You were like, I like that team. That's how you know a team is good, folks, when it makes you go, God damn.
Yeah, there's nothing like it, you know, nothing like just being ready for your dreams to be crushed.
Brother, that's what we do on this channel. All right, Buck. Dude, thank you so much for joining us as I get us in the right pairings. Tom, note to you, we need a version of this with just 2. So when we don't have 3, because I like this layout. Like the colors, I like it. Big
colors are good. Strong colors.
Look, the producer editor, I wanted to say it, Buck. Producer editor showed it on the colors. So there you go.
Less and less people are calling it a predator.
Allegedly. This was a ton of fun. Buck, shout out whatever you like to shout out, what you're working on, or where the people can find you, or where they can't find you. It's up to you.
I mean, to be honest, this is my first stream. I mean, I'm a musician. You can look up my music. It's just my name, Buck St. Thomas. Working on a song with my wife currently. It's going to be fun. But yeah, you don't really need to look me up unless, you know, you want to be disappointed with no fantasy football takes on the internet.
You hear that, folks? He's Virgin Stream, music producer, editor extraordinaire, and likely the only place you're going to hear or see from him is behind the paywall Discords or here on the stream.
That's it. You should go join the ship chasing Discord. That's what you should do.
There you go. That's where Buck be living.
That's where everybody hates me.
he does try to not ingratiate himself to anyone, but thank you so much for joining us, brother. That's what we do. We poke and we prod.
Yeah,
we stick them where they're allowed. Yeah, this was a ton of fun. We'll definitely have to run this back sometime.
Thank you, buddy.
Vaporware, appreciate you stopping in. If you're here, hit the like, hit the sub if you haven't already. We appreciate you. If you have a question, start, sit, trade, or whatever, drop it in the chat. We get to every chat. We reply to everything. And if you just want me to rate your deck, you can leave that in chat too, brother.
Your what?
Yeah, exactly. And then Kenny's deck, big deck. And don't forget, then if you need to check out the start sit video that Tom and Rich did yesterday, and then if you want to prep for the playoffs, they went through every matchup, a conceivable thing, very, very thorough. Help you win your fantasy championships, redraft, best ball, dynasty. They answered your questions there. If you leave your questions on that video, no matter how detailed, and I have seen some novels that people left, and we are getting to your questions. Big games on tap, week 12. Go chase your millions. Go chase your 40Ks, whether it's on Underdog, DraftKings, Fantasy Game Day. We're here on Fantasy Sanctuary to give you what you need in daily fantasy, best ball, redraft, Dynasty. We're here. We're loud. We're proud. Catch you later, folks.